This is a Performance Tool 13-in-1 Electrician Multi-Tool, and we're going to unbox it because I have some questions for Leatherman and SOG and Gerber. So let's get into it. I saw this sitting at an auto parts store. I think it was the Performance Tool. I held off at the time, but I couldn't resist, so I went back and purchased it. I should clarify that. I went on the internet and purchased it. I didn't go back to the auto parts store. But as you can see, I'm sure you can see, let's see if we can get this out easy. Hey, there we go. This is a multi-tool with built-in wire cutters, where you would often have a plier head. They are spring-loaded, that's nice, and they've just got a swiveling lock like you might see on many plier heads. Let's see how this closes up, because I've not seen anything on this in the past. Hey, that's not terrible. Time will tell how these blades hold up. Nice and oily. Let's see what's inside, because I never looked at the inside of it at all. Am I going to cut myself? No, I don't think I'm going to cut myself. Okay, we've got a, what? Wow, okay, hold on. We've got, first of all, can opener, bottle opener combo tool, the most useless tool on any multi-tool. We've got a Phillips driver that looks like a number 1. Doesn't look big enough to be a full-size number 2. Time will tell. And one of the, look at the, can you guys see the light reflecting on that in like waves? That is like a wavy edge reamer, I guess. Not a great grind on that. But we didn't buy it for that. We bought this because we're going to try out something neat. Single cut, double cut file. Love to see those pointed a little bit for use as a screwdriver. Fairly dull blade. Small flat screwdriver. Kind of a medium flat screwdriver. Okay, nobody cares about that stuff. What we care about is this plier head, this wire stripper head. Does seem fairly useful for those that need this on a daily basis. What I want to know is, will this fit into a Gerber Truss or something similar? So that's why we bought this. But in the meantime, while I kind of try and figure out whether this is going to happen right now or in a future video, why don't multi-tool manufacturers, the big multi-tool manufacturers, make a wire stripper version of some of their tools? I would love to see this on a Gerber Truss or a sidekick frame or anything like that, because you don't need the biggest, best tool set inside. You just need this wire stripper, and a couple of tools would be excellent. We've seen already, I'm not impressed with the internal tool set on this and the quality of them, but if we could get this from a maker or a manufacturer like Leatherman, I think we could have a very hot selling tool. They did make a Leatherman squirt with a small wire stripper on it. Obviously that has been discontinued along with the squirt as a whole, but let's crack this open. I don't know if this is going to work. You're going to find out right along with me whether this is going to be an easy, quick, totally awesome, no problems build, or whether we live in the real world and this is going to go to crap real fast. All right, let's first of all find out what size bits this takes. Again, that was T8, this is T9. T9 kind of fits. I don't think T10 is going to get in there. No, so it's going to be a T9 for me. And let me grab the bench vise. Kind of an impromptu test here, but I want to get the unboxing on this at least. I'll put a link to this down below, and if this works, scoop them up, and if not, just enjoy me failing on the internet as usual. Not too tough of a screw to undo. Not the best geometry. The bits They're turning a bit more than I would like. Okay, is that out? That side is out. Let's do the other one. And hope that this thing doesn't fly apart under spring tension. Oh, yeah, that one's not. The right-hand side is spinning. Uh-oh. It may be time for the soldering iron and a nice big pair of Knipex twin grips. I'm not really worried about salvaging much of this tool, but if we can figure out a quick and easy mod for you guys, I think, there it goes, we can turn that soldering iron back off. If this is not a difficult mod, I think it'd be worth the about 20 bucks I think I paid for this tool. You can see how torn up that screw got. Well, maybe you can. So not the hardest of metals in there. Let's punch these pivots out and see what comes a-wandering by. Thwacker. And there we have it. Okay, we got some spacers on each side. That makes sense. One thick, one thin, because these are kind of offset. Wait a minute. Why do we have 5 spacers? Oh, there's even more spacers. So maybe it's too thin. We'll figure that out. What I want to check, do I have any Gerber Truss pivots handy? I may not. Oh, here we go. Is this for, these are for the truss, so these are not the same. Let's just see what the pivot size is. Oh, a little bit wider. How should we proceed with this? Let's find a pivot that fits, because they're going to be all slightly different. So I'm just checking for wiggle room here. I wonder if I need to go to maybe a Leatherman Surge pivot, just as a check. Because if we were going to do a full modification, and this may come in a future video, we may end up drilling out the pivot hole for the suspension and for the wire stripper heads to match. So it is smaller pivot than a Surge, but bigger than the truss or the Wingman, and bigger than the Sidekick. Okay, let's check some other features while we're here. It looks like our spacing when closed, are you able to see this, is going to be a little bit wider. They don't quite line up with these pivots on the suspension. Let's pull out the truss, because that may be a more suitable candidate. That's pretty darn close. I think that might work. We have plenty of space internally. Let's open this up. I was thinking this was going to be more for the suspension. The profile is not that much bigger, too. If you needed to, you could grind these down. Well, I think what this may be a case for is, but it's just going to be a little bit thicker than the pivot holes are a little bit more, a little bit larger in diameter than I would like. Well, I think what this is going to be is a project for another day. Wait, there's more, because after I ended that recording, I thought, nah, let's see what we can do. And I have got a actually functioning proof of concept. So I only have the one handle added. I don't have the right washers without doing a stack of like 30 washers right now. But I wanted to show that it should work. In the Gerber Truss frame, there is this tab here. I just took some pliers and bent it back to give a little bit of extra relief. You still want some spring tension, but you don't need quite as much as it started out, so I'll put the tool together a little easier. And there's a little bit of rub on the frame where that pivot screw hits. It almost acts as a detent. to click it into place, which is kind of nice. You could just grind that down with a Dremel if it bothered you. But yeah, it's a stack of washers, spacers I had lying around, and some of the spacers that came with the Performance Tool multi-tool. And theoretically, we could finish this off to have pretty capable looking wire strippers, comparatively speaking, inside of a Gerber Truss with all of the tools that already come on the Gerber Truss. This is kind of an exciting modification. I kind of dreamt of this for a long time and didn't think it would be this easy. I thought it was going to require a lot more grinding. Turns out that those pivots are close enough in diameter that it does work. We are binding, oh, the knives are binding up on each other. That's fun. So again, not the highest quality. Would love to see this from another manufacturer, but really cool that this is capable. I mean, you would have a pretty decent little multi-tool if you were so inclined to follow through. So thanks for watching, guys. But wait, there's more. There's no way you thought I was going to end that video without finishing this multi-tool. As I said, I loosened the spring back a little bit, just sprung it out with some pliers, and it's a stack of quite a few washers. Found some more in reserve. I cannot believe that this actually works. Now, I just grabbed some frames that I had on hand that were damaged out of inventory, so it doesn't have all of the tools. But if you did this with a fresh Gerber Truss and a Performance Tool multi-tool, and some extra washers, they're 5mm washers, this is kind of nuts that this works this well. So I will probably be doing a full build of this in a multi-tool Monday, Mod Monday. What am I calling this series? I don't even know what it's called yet, because we haven't recorded our first episode, but this will be covered in one of those. So stay tuned if you want to see the full build process. Very, very simple. Rarely does a mod go this smooth with this little planning. So stay tuned for that. And that is officially and actually and really the end of the video.